Hey Lan, hi folks, it's Lev. Welcome back to another video. For those of you who are new, I use he and pronouns. I just feel like making another video today, even though I just made one yesterday, so I'm gonna make another one. And I'm gonna be rewatching my first LGBTIQ plus short film. So yesterday I recorded one where I rewatched my short film about social anxiety, and now I'm gonna rewatch my film about my first LGBTIQ plus short film. Um, it's been a year and 8 months since I last watched it. I produced and I created this one at the end of 2019. Um, so it's been a little while, so this will also be interesting. And just something I remembered before we get into the video. I've always, when I was living as a woman, I knew that I wasn't straight, but, and I did identify as gay at the time. But the thing is, I didn't like using the word lesbian. Like, I rather call at the time I would much rather use the term gay than lesbian, and I didn't really know why. It wasn't until I came out as trans that I realized I didn't really connect with the word lesbian, even though I was gay, because I'm not a woman, and just my trans identity as a man really conflicted with that subconsciously, and that's why I didn't connect with the word lesbian. Yeah, and it was like didn't piece it all together until I came as trans and be like, I'm a guy. That's why I didn't connect with that word, and that's why I preferred the word gay, even though lesbian and gay basically mean the same thing. So let's get into the video, and I'm gonna be doing the screen record again, just because it's easier. So hey folks, so I just spent ages just trying to fix the audio and testing and making sure everything works fine before I start recording. So this is my film here. I uploaded on December 24th, 2019, so more context, this is before I came out as trans as well. Not too long actually, not too long before I came out as trans, because I came out as trans in January 2020. So it's just a month or two before that I posted this and then came out as trans. So yeah, let's begin. I remember for this scene in particular, my friend and I, we did like many takes just to get the right one, because the way it was thrown, it didn't go over my head and stuff. So it was really funny, and it was really fun as well, just yeeting the cube and trying to get the perfect take for it. Yeah. Oh yeah, and I hadn't changed my name to Lev at this time either, so that's why my birth name is here. And also, okay, I forgot it, never mind. Oh yeah, slightly off topic, but I just remembered, like, my sexuality journey, you could say, is the path I embarked on before the trans gender identity stuff. So I started questioning my sexuality in 2016, and this is where the whole LGBTIQ plus journey began for me. And then it was only later on that I understood more about trans experiences and gender identity that I sort of focused on that more and trying to understand who I am. And I'm just gonna double check again whether this is actually recording, because okay, it's recording. Yeah. And this poor cube, throughout creating this film and then my next LGBTIQ plus short film, which is To Closet or Not to Closet Part 2, this poor cube has been thrown so many times. It's literally bruised, battered, scratched, and everything. And I remember what I was gonna say earlier. So I titled it To Closet or Not to Closet because when I was first coming to terms and understanding my sexual orientation and gender identity, but in the context of this film, my sexual orientation, there was a part of me that was really scared of coming out. I didn't want anyone to know that I was not straight. But at the same time, I didn't want to live in a closet and have to hide who I am to the world and not be seen for who I am, like just pretending to be straight so that I don't get questioned or be judged for who I am. So that's where To Closet or Not To Closet come from. It's really about the conflict I have regarding whether I should step into my truth and let others know, invite others in to know my truth, or just keep this to myself. Really, that's where To Closet or Not To Closet comes from. And I forgot to turn on CC. Turn on. Yeah.
Time for some games.
Just for reference, I was playing Bubble Trouble. What is it? It's Bubble Trouble. There was a game on Miniclip. I think it was called Bubble Trouble. I was playing that. Yeah, for this scene.
Wait.
I just remembered as well, just for context, I did storyboard this film, unlike my first film about social anxiety, which I didn't storyboard. I storyboarded this film from start to finish, and I definitely did better in the show not tell aspect of filmmaking.
Isn't that the cube that almost hit me when I was on my walk? What on earth? How did it get in here? What does this mean?
And just for some context, this might be a spoiler for those of you who haven't watched my film, so if you haven't watched my LGBTQ+ short film and you want to know, I mean, you don't want to get spoiled, then I recommend going and watching it first before continuing this video, because I'm gonna spoil it. So the cube actually represents the confusion I had around my sexual orientation, and it's a unsolved Rubik's Cube because I don't know who I am yet, and I'm trying to understand myself and my identity. And the cube being thrown at me at the start symbolizes the question of, wait, I'm not straight, and the beginning of my LGBTIQ+ journey. It really represents just this thought of, wait, I'm not straight, and feeling like I'm not straight hitting me out of nowhere, and I'm just like, what is this path, and what is this thing that keeps tormenting me? And I just questioned so much, and it was horrible at times, just feeling like I didn't know who I am and trying to figure this whole thing out. Again, it's so weird just to see my pre-transition self especially, and it's been so far, even just coming, I mean, I've come so far just in the past year and 8 months, and it just feels awkward to me just watching back on my pre-transition footage. Alright, so I'm gonna explain this scene. So this scene is basically saying, like, the bendy ruler is representing not straight or non-heterosexual, and the straight ruler is representing heterosexual or not, heterosexual or straight. And I'm looking at the cube and I'm looking at the rulers, and I'm like, am I bi? Am I gay? Am I straight? Am I not straight? And that's what the rulers represent. And also remember, just feeling really scared at the time. Just scared knowing that I'm on this journey of questioning and that I might not be straight. That in of itself really scared me as well. Just knowing I'm not straight, I might not be straight, and I'm questioning. It was terrifying because the world is not so kind. Well, I mean, I guess we've come a long ways since in the past 20-30 years in terms of sexual orientation, but I was still really scared because the world isn't necessarily so kind to people who aren't straight. I think this scene, I was just looking at the different identity labels for sexual orientation and trying to put myself into one of the boxes.
I've liked. Oh.
I think this scene is when I had the realization that I'm not straight. Yeah. And me dropping the straight roller is like sort of eliminating the uncertainty of am I straight or not, so realize I'm not straight. And I actually chipped the corner of this ruler from dropping it like that. Like afterwards I picked it up again and I realized I chipped the ruler, which was a bit sad because this is a pretty ruler and I didn't want to break it, but things happen. I think the scene, the running and the fast riding sort of indicates I still remember what my intention of this scene is, but I think it's indicating how quickly I threw a label on myself because I was so uncertain and I didn't like being in uncertainty of not knowing who I am, so I think I threw a label on myself and I didn't feel comfortable just living my experiences without a label, so I picked the best label for my experiences and how I felt and who I thought I was. And the cube disappearing basically symbolizes me figuring it out and having an answer. So the cube's like the questioning stopped, and that's symbolic of the cube being gone. The questioning stopped. I figured out who I am. But from the remaining 5 minutes of the video, I've not done. Like I thought that after I labeled myself as bisexual, like the journey would be over. I was like, it's done, no more questioning. I've finished my journey, and right now looking back, definitely the journey of, I guess, coming out and the LGBTIQ+ journey doesn't end as soon as I figure out who I am and have a identity label for myself. Like that's not it, but I didn't know that at the time.
Finally, it's over. This feels really.
Yep, so I thought I was bi, and then I went by the label for a little while, and then it just, the questioning came back, and there was just this internal conflict inside of me. It just feeling like this isn't right, like this label isn't right for me anymore. And that's when the LGBTIQ plus questioning came back again, and sort of the reignition of my journey.
Off. I don't know what's going on. But I don't really like it.
And I don't really like it because again I felt really uncomfortable, and it was just scary not knowing who I am.
I know I found an answer to my sexuality, but this doesn't feel right. I feel disconnected. Did I simply label myself for the sake of having a label? Or is this genuinely me?
So yeah, if I could go back to my younger self, and if I could talk to my younger self, right, like the present Lev talking to younger Lev, I would tell him like, it's okay to live your experiences without a label, and it is uncomfortable not knowing who you are, but you don't need to label yourself for the sake of having a label. And yeah.
This isn't who I am.
And the cube being back again is symbolic of the questioning returning, and round 2 of trying to understand who I am again.
I thought this would be over already. Here we go again. Round 2.
And it's funny because I'm actually pan, and I guess my first coming out as bi, like I didn't come out to many people because I was so scared, but it's accurate in who I am today. I like using the word pan, but I am attracted to more than one gender. Yeah, so my truth has always been with me since the start, and I just got lost and confused in the world of labels. For this scene, my friend and I, we went hiking, and then we went for a hike first, and then we did filming. I brought all the camera gear and stuff. It was like, I remember like there were people walking on the other tracks, so my friend and I tried to find the most quiet track where it's not busy to be filming for this scene. So it was interesting. It was fun as well, but yeah. I had to do multiple takes for this scene because I kept looking at the camera every time I walked downhill. And yeah, I have a lot of bloopers from filming this short film.
What the?
And for this, similar to the first scene, we had to do a lot of takes, and then this was the perfect take, and this is the one I ended up using, but my friend threw the cube at me a lot of times until we got the good take. And this question, am I gay, that question tormented me every day, literally every waking hour, until I realized that I was gay, or I thought I was gay. Looking back now, it was non-stop questioning, am I gay, am I gay, am I gay, and I felt I feel like I couldn't escape from this question, and that I was desperate. I was desperate for an answer because I didn't want to keep living my life every day questioning my sexual orientation, and I was very desperate for an answer. And it showing up in different places wherever I go. For example, the hiking scene, and then now the bathroom. It being shown everywhere is essentially representative of it circling around in my head, no matter where I was and no matter what I was doing.
I don't have answers, okay? I don't know.
Fun fact, when I was filming the scene, I was actually playing Call of Duty. I wanted to make it realistic by actually playing something and having game sounds from the console. So I was actually playing Call of Duty when filming this scene to make it more realistic. I didn't just want to be holding a controller and just not be playing anything. So yeah.
Am I gay? This really shouldn't be that hard to figure out.
And in addition to the non-stop questioning, I put a lot of pressure on myself to figure out the answer as soon as possible. Like, I didn't allow myself time to just live my experiences and tell myself, you know, it's okay if you don't have the answer right now. You just keep doing you, being you, living the best life you can, and just living every day in a way that you feel most comfortable with. Like, I force myself to find an answer ASAP. And yeah, if I could talk to younger Lev, I'll just be like, just live your life, do what you feel most comfortable with, and there is no deadline in finding an answer or finding the word to describe your experiences and who you are.
It's harder than this video game.
It was.
I tried to solve you, but it's just impossible.
And you might notice that progressively Lev gets more and more frustrated every time he sees the cube. It's because it keeps intensifying. Like, the more time went on, the more intense the questioning became, and the more intense the am I gay thing circled around my mind. That's why I increasingly grew frustrated, because it just increasingly grew more intense the longer time went on without me having an answer.
Are you serious? Why?
This scene is funny. Like, I was laughing, and then I did a backup recording. Like, I did this scene twice, and then the second time, the backup recording, I failed to tear the paper, and then I was laughing, so I didn't end up using the second one.
What the hell?
And for context, the paper says, am I gay?
What?
Immediately after me throwing the paper down, I just started laughing, and I was just like, am I angry? Was I angry? And I just started laughing. Yeah, I couldn't keep a straight face.
Why does this question keep annoying me?
The growing frustration, as I mentioned before.
I'm over it.
There was one take where I filmed this exact scene. Like, there was one take where I threw the paper on the sand, and then the wind just blew it away, and then we chased after it. So yeah, we did this scene a few times as well because of wind blowing our piece of paper away. And yes, I was sick of it. I saw it buried. I picked it up to read what it was. It said, "Am I gay?" I got frustrated, and now I'm burying it because I didn't want to deal with it anymore. Yep, and the cube comes back over and over again because the questioning keeps coming back over and over again. It's like, yeah, no matter where I went and no matter what I did, I would not be free from this questioning. And we actually got, like, I got sand in the cube, and then yeah, because I buried it, and there were like sand stuck in the corners of the cube and stuff as well. Oh yes, and my friend who was helping me film actually made this origami cube for me because I didn't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I didn't want to buy a second one. Well, I ended up buying a second one for the second film anyway, but at this time I didn't want to buy another one, and I didn't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube, so my friend made this art origami. It's literally art. She made like a bunch of small cubes. 18, 9, 27 little cubes, and then put together. It can't rotate, but it's such a cool origami thing. Yeah, and that's why it's paper, because I couldn't solve the actual cube. And this scene symbolizes me waking up one day and it just like clicked in my head and be like, oh, I am gay. And I do have an answer now.
Is it really over? Do I really have an answer this time?
Yeah, and I was second guessing whether I actually did have an answer, because it was like, I've been tormented by this for so long. It's like, really? Like, is this true? Is this reality that I really have an answer? Or is this like some other thing? And then it's just like, I start questioning again. Like, I couldn't believe it was real. I was writing gay on the paper, and like I mentioned at the start of the video, I didn't like using the word lesbian, and it's because I'm actually a trans man, and using the word lesbian contradicts with my truth, which I didn't realize at the time as a trans man, because I'm not a woman. That's why there was a conflict inside of me with using the word lesbian at the time, even though I had no idea it was related to the gender identity stuff.
I'm gay. This is only the beginning of the coming out process.
And when I actually figured out myself and my identity at the time, I actually stood in the mirror and said I'm gay, and it was really scary. I was really nervous, and even coming out to myself, I was scared of saying it. Just even saying it to myself, I was really scared of saying it.
All of our experiences are valid, whether we have a label for it or not. If you feel comfortable adopting a specific label, go for it. If you don't feel comfortable, that is 100% okay too. It's okay to live our experiences without forcing labels on it.
Yes, the flag. This is sort of unrelated, but I wasn't working at the time. I didn't do online shopping, so whenever I wanted something online, I would ask my dad to buy for me, and I was really scared of asking him to buy a pride flag for me because he might question like, hey, why you want to buy a pride flag? But luckily he didn't know what it meant. I'm just like, I want a rainbow flag because it looks good, and I managed to sneakily get him to buy it without him realizing that it's LGBTIQ plus related and it's a pride flag. So yeah, that happened, and same with the trans flag. I was scared of asking him to buy it, but then I actually don't remember what happened with the trans flag. Maybe I'd come up to him already. I don't remember what happened with the trans flag, but with this pride flag, yeah, it was low key.
We are all complex and beautifully unique human beings, and it's unrealistic to expect that all of us fit neatly into predefined boxes. Put your own personal meaning on a label.
Because I don't want
A
it to
quote
die
I
in this
remember from a
recording.
video.
Okay, y'all, I'm back. I plugged in my laptop because it was about to die, so I'll just play the rest of this film.
Video is, you define the labels don't define you. It's okay to walk our own path and write our own story, rather than have people determine it for us based on societal norms and expectations. We all walk our unique paths in life.
Okay, so this is slightly unrelated. This beach my friend and I went to film at, there were so many shells on the ground, and like walking barefoot, both of us got poked a lot, and I didn't bring Crocs with me this time I was filming. I did for the second film. We also went to a beach and filmed, and we bought Crocs. For this time we didn't bring any Crocs, and the shells and stuff in the sand were just poking at our feet, and it hurt. It hurt a lot.
And it's okay to learn about ourselves at our own pace, even if it may be at a different timing to others. Timing of self-discovery does not dictate whether one's experiences are valid or not. It doesn't. Only you have the power to say who you are and are not. The fact that I'm gay is only one part of me and my human experiences. While it is important, it isn't everything. You are never alone.
For context, we built the words "it's okay to be you" out of sticks in the forest we were hiking at. So
while it is important, it isn't everything.
So yeah, it's okay to be you.
You are never alone. You don't have to go through this alone. It's okay to build your own box. It's okay to be rainbow. It's okay to be you.
Yep, and that's the film. Do I have any other closing thoughts? It's just my LGBTIQ plus journey has been much longer than I anticipated. After I came out as gay, while I was living as a woman, I truly thought it was over. I'm like, yes, no more. I'm finally done with this. I finally figured myself out, and now I can live in peace. But then gender dysphoria kept coming back, and it was like round 3 gender dysphoria keep coming back, and I'm just thinking, oh my god, I'm actually not done. And this is a different thing to sexual orientation. It's much different. It's like next level, and it's more challenging than sexual orientation. And then the whole gender identity journey was just exhausting, and I was really scared again. And at the start of last year, when I first came out as trans, I was really scared again, and the whole cycle of fear just came back. And not too long after I released this film, the "am I trans" questioning came back, and it got much more intense as well as time went on. I'll save that for a different video because I can talk for ages about it. Thanks for watching, folks, and I will see you in the next video.